Hello everyone and welcome to my The Young and the Restless official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The Young and the Restless recap for Friday, February 20th reveals that Victor Newman will disappear on his loved ones and spark concern. Nick Newman's bizarre behavior will also raise questions for Sharon Newman and Noah Newman. So here's what Y&R fans can expect. At Crimson Lights, Nicky Newman will be glad to know Noah is sticking around Genoa City for now. There'll be some talk about how much pain Nick's been in, but then he'll come strutting in, acting fine and won't even be leaning on his cane. Nick will be a lot more mellow and will even cut Phyllis Summers some slack since she's been out of sorts since she was held hostage. Nick will also praise Phyllis for being an amazing mom to Summer Newman, last played by Alison Lanier, so his previous anger will be toned down tremendously. At one point, Nick will claim he found a stray pain pill in his coat pocket, but it'll be obvious that he's taken fentanyl. After Nick hints about heading to the pharmacy for another refill, Sharon will point out that he just got one recently and said he had more pills at the house. Nick will act like it just takes time for refills and that he wants to give them notice on wanting another round. There'll be some talk about Victor and what he's capable of, but Nick will sound half asleep. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Noah and Sharon will call Nick out on that, but he'll suggest he's just less tense due to his pain pill. Once Nick leaves, Sharon will debate the situation with Noah, who'll wonder if Nick took more than one pill this time. Sharon will definitely sense that something's off. At the Park Cafe, Mariah Copeland will wear sunglasses despite Christine Blair's insistence that she's allowed to go out in public. Mariah won't really think she deserves it and will worry about running into Abby Winters, Devon Winters or Tessa Porter. When Mariah mentions that she stopped by the Chancellor Mansion to apologize with Sharon, Christine will flip out over that news. Christine will feel like they have to be careful not to undermine Mariah's defense strategy as they await her trial in mid-March. Once Abby pops up with Dominic, he'll rush over to his hide-and-seek friend. Dominic will apologize to Mariah for getting tired and ruining their game, but Mariah will think she owes him an apology instead for keeping him away from his parents. Abby will end up speaking with Christine alone and rant about Mariah being out free like this. It'll leave Abby questioning why Mara isn't in jail or a mental hospital, but Christine will insist Mara was evaluated and that she can remain free until a judge rules otherwise. Abby will fume since Dominic or some other poor child could still be at risk, so Mara will look ashamed as she watches the confrontation nearby. At Society, Devon will open up to Nate Hastings about the mind games Mara played with Dom on their trip. It'll leave Devon torn over what Mara's punishment should look like. Talk will ultimately turn to Lily Winters being off the grid and not returning any calls, even about work. Devon and Nate will consider whether it might be time to start worrying. At the Newman Ranch, Victoria Newman will talk to Adam Newman and Chelsea Lawson about Victor, who vanished early that morning without telling anyone where he was going. Adam will fret over Victor not being in touch for hours, but Victoria will suspect that he knows where Phyllis is and has gone after her. Later, Adam will obsess over what Victor promised Lily in exchange for her help. Chelsea will think Chancellor makes the most sense, but Adam will note that Victor doesn't always go for the most obvious answer and will fear he's the one who'll get screwed over. Back with Victoria, she'll talk to Nikki about Victor's vanishing act and her belief that he's going after Phyllis. Victoria will hope Victor finds Phyllis since she'll want to locate her too. As for Victoria's own scheme, she'll plan to get Phyllis's children on their side. Victoria will mention that she is going to fly to Europe and see Summer, but Nikki will worry about the bond between Summer and Phyllis being tough to break. Nevertheless, Victoria will want to use Phyllis's fear of losing that mother-daughter bond to their advantage and will feel confident she can get Summer's support. The emotional undercurrents in The Young and the Restless run dangerously deep as Friday unfolds, pulling Genoa City into a day filled with unease, secrets, and growing fear, especially for those closest to the Newman family. The morning begins at Crimson Lights, where the atmosphere is warm on the surface but quietly heavy underneath. Nikki Newman finds a moment of relief when she learns that Noah Newman plans to stay in Genoa City for now. It's a small comfort but one she clings to. The conversation soon turns more somber as Nikki and Noah acknowledge the lingering pain that Nick Newman has been carrying, physically and emotionally. Then Nick arrives. At first glance, something feels wrong. He walks in confidently, no cane in sight. His posture is relaxed, his demeanor unusually calm. Too calm. The sharp edges that once defined his anger are suddenly gone. Nick even shows unexpected kindness toward Phyllis Summers, cutting her slack and acknowledging the trauma she endured while being held hostage. He praises her as an incredible mother to Summer Newman, a stark contrast to the fury he once carried. The shift is dramatic and unsettling. As the conversation continues, Nick casually mentions finding a stray pain pill in his coat pocket. But to those watching closely, it's obvious this isn't just pain relief. His eyes are heavy, his responses are slow, he drifts in and out of focus, half asleep as he speaks. When Nick hints that he's heading to the pharmacy for another refill, Sharon Newman gently pushes back. She reminds him he just got a refill and still has pills at home. Nick brushes it off, claiming refills take time and insisting he's just being proactive. But his explanation doesn't sit right. As the talk shifts to Victor Newman and the dangerous things he is capable of, Nick's voice fades. He sounds distant, detached. When Sharon and Noah call him out on it, Nick shrugs it off, blaming the medication for making him less tense. Soon after Nick leaves, the worry sets in. Sharon and Noah replay every word, every glance. Noah wonders aloud if Nick took more than one pill this time. Sharon doesn't argue because she feels it too. Something is very wrong and the truth is slipping through their fingers. Across town at the Park Cafe, the mood is equally fragile. Maria Copeland hides behind dark sunglasses even as Christine Blair insists she has every right to be out in public. Maria doesn't believe she deserves that freedom. Guilt weighs on her shoulders as she worries about running into Abby Winters, Devon Winters, or Tessa Porter. When Maria casually mentions that she and Sharon stopped by the Chancellor Mansion so she could apologize, Christine reacts instantly, panic flashing across her face. She warns Maria that any move like that could undermine her legal defense. With Maria's trial looming in mid-March, every step matters. Then Abby appears with Dominic. Dominic lights up the moment he sees Maria rushing toward his old hide-and-seek friend. He apologizes sweetly for getting tired and ending their game. Maria's heart breaks. She insists she's the one who should be apologizing for keeping him away from his parents. But the warmth doesn't last. Abby pulls Christine aside, her anger barely contained. She rants about Mariah being free, demanding to know why she isn't in jail or a mental hospital. Christine explains that Mariah has been evaluated and is legally allowed her freedom until a judge decides otherwise. Abby fumes. She warns that Dominic or some other innocent child could still be at risk. From a distance, Mariah watches, ashamed, broken, fully aware that no apology will ever be enough. At Society, Nate Hastings listens as Devon opens up about the psychological games Mariah played with Dominic during their trip. Devon is torn, angry, hurt, conflicted. He struggles to decide what justice should look like in a situation where love and betrayal collide. The conversation soon shifts to another unsettling mystery, Lily Winters. She's completely off the grid. No return calls, no contact, not even about work. For the first time, Devon and Nate seriously wonder if it's time to worry. Meanwhile, tension grips the Newman ranch. Victoria reveals to Adam Newman and Chelsea Lawson that Victor vanished early that morning. No explanation, no destination. Adam grows increasingly anxious as the hours pass with no word. Victoria, however, is convinced Victor knows where Phyllis is and has gone after her. Later, Adam obsesses over what Victor promised Lily in exchange for her help. Chelsea believes Chancellor is the logical connection, but Adam isn't convinced. Victor never chooses the obvious path, and Adam fears that when the dust settles, he'll be the one paying the price. Victoria later shares her suspicions with Nikki, reiterating her belief that Victor is hunting Phyllis down. She actually hopes he finds her because Victoria wants to locate Phyllis too, and she already has a plan. Victoria reveals her next move, turning Phyllis's children against her. She intends to fly to Europe to see Summer personally. Nikki warns her breaking the bond between a mother and daughter won't be easy. But Victoria is confident. She believes Phyllis' deepest fear, losing Summer, can be used against her. And she's certain she can win Summer over. As secrets deepen, alliances shift, and loved ones vanish without a trace. Genoa City braces itself because every move made today is setting the stage for consequences no one can outrun. The tension doesn't fade when the conversations end, it lingers, spreading quietly through Genoa City like a warning no one wants to hear. As evening approaches, the unease surrounding Victor Newman only grows heavier. His silence feels deliberate, calculated. For a man who never disappears without reason, every unanswered call sends ripples of fear through the Newman family. Wherever Victor has gone, he went alone and with purpose. And the unspoken question hangs in the air: who will pay the price for whatever he's planning next? At the same time, concern tightens around Nick Newman like a closing fist. Away from prying eyes, the calm he displayed earlier feels fragile, manufactured. The medication that dulled his pain now clouds his judgment, and those closest to him can sense the danger creeping closer. Sharon Newman can't shake the feeling that Nick is sleeping quietly right in front of her, and that if someone doesn't intervene soon, the fallout could be devastating. Elsewhere, guilt continues to haunt Mara Copeland. Abby's words echo in her mind, sharp and unforgiving. Every step Maria takes outside feels undeserved, every breath heavy with the knowledge that the damage she caused can't be undone. And with her trial inching closer, the walls seem to be closing in. Freedom for now feels more like a punishment than a relief. For Devon Winters, the silence from Lily Winters becomes impossible to ignore. What started as mild concern now edges toward fear. Lily doesn't disappear without reason, and the longer she stays unreachable, the more Devon begins to suspect that something is very wrong. Back at the Newman Ranch, Victoria Newman sharpens her resolve. Her plan involving Summer Newman is already taking shape. Driven by cold logic and ruthless confidence, she believes she understands Phyllis better than anyone, understands exactly where it hurts most. And she's willing to exploit that weakness if it means gaining the upper hand. Yet even Victoria can't predict how far this will spiral once emotions, addiction and revenge collide. Because in Genoa City, secrets never stay buried for long. Victor's disappearance, Nick's dangerous dependency, Mariah's fragile freedom, Lily's alarming silence, and a plan that could shatter a mother and daughter forever. All of it is moving toward a reckoning, one that will test loyalties, destroy illusions, and change lives in ways no one sees coming. And this is only the beginning. The night settles over Genoa City, but the darkness offers no peace, only more questions. At the Newman Ranch, the silence grows oppressive. Every passing minute without word from Victor Newman feels heavier than the last. For a man who controls every boardroom, every negotiation, every outcome, this kind of absence is never accidental. It's strategic, and that realization only deepens the fear for those who know him best. Somewhere out there, Victor is making a move, one that could redraw the lines of loyalty and power forever. Meanwhile, concern sharpens into quiet alarm over Nick Newman. His earlier confidence now feels like a warning sign that was ignored. The calm wasn't healing, it was chemical. And as the effects of the fentanyl linger, the danger isn't just to Nick himself, but to everyone who might trust his judgment in this state. Sharon Newman can feel it in her bones. Nick is walking a thin, invisible line, and one wrong step could send everything crashing down. Across town, Mariah Copeland sits alone with her thoughts, replaying every moment, every mistake. Abby's fury still burns in her mind, not because it was cruel, but because it was honest. Maria knows the damage she caused can't be erased by apologies or legal evaluations. With her trial approaching, the weight of what she did presses harder each day, threatening to break her long before a judge ever speaks. For Devon Winters, the unanswered calls from Lily Winters begin to feel ominous. Lily's silence no longer feels like distance, it feels like disappearance. And Devon can't shake the sense that if he waits any longer, it might already be too late. Back with the Newmans, Victoria Newman steels herself for what comes next. Her plan involving Summer Newman isn't born of impulse, it's calculated, deliberate, and dangerously personal. Victoria believes fear is the key to controlling Phyllis, and she's prepared to use the one thing Phyllis treasures above all else to get what she wants. But even the most carefully laid plans can unravel when emotions run too hot and secrets refuse to stay hidden. Because Genoa City is standing on the edge of something explosive. A powerful man has vanished. An addiction is spiraling out of control. A mother's guilt is colliding with a child's safety. A sister's silence is raising red flags. And a ruthless strategy is inching closer to destroying a family bond forever. Every choice made now will echo long after the night fades, and when morning comes, nothing will ever be the same again. Yet even Victoria can't predict how far this will spiral once emotions, addiction, and revenge collide. Because in Genoa City, secrets never stay buried for long. Victor's disappearance, Nick's dangerous dependency, Mariah's fragile freedom, Lily's alarming silence, and a plan that could shatter a mother and daughter forever. All of it is moving toward a reckoning, one that will test loyalties, destroy illusions, and change lives in ways no one sees coming. And this is only the beginning.